It was unique, going from, Lawrence, Kansas to, East Rutherford. And I moved into a place in Hackensack, New Jersey, and going to the arena, Continental Airlines. And at that time it was Brendan Byrne Arena. You worked out and had practice at a trucking facility, which is a little different. At Kansas, we practiced in Lawrence Fieldhouse. In Jersey, you would be taking showers with truckers, like it was, that's not even to mention the fact that that roster, and they're all great guys, but and I'm a little crazy too, but nowhere near some of the stuff that I got to see, playing with Derek, who's a great guy, lives in Detroit, Kenny Anderson, Dwayne Shinshis, God rest his soul, Rick Mahorn. Think about that one. Chris Morris, my man Jason Williams. Like it was interesting. I just like training camp. I just remember we're driving down. We practiced in Princeton. We went to Princeton for training camp, and I'm driving down the road to get to the hotel after practice, and all of a sudden an orange hits my car. And I'm like, what? And I look over, it's Rick Mahorn. And then Jason Williams drives by him and he's throwing his drink out the window to try to hit Rick Mahorn's car. Next thing I know, like it's a free-for-all. There's like all these Mercedes Benz and great cars. I was driving a Taurus. I rented a Taurus, right? So I was like the low man of the totem pole for sure. But I'm like, oh, this is an NBA training camp right here. We're having car wars, driving, some guys were driving a little bit faster than the speed limit too. So that experience was eye-opening for me. Saying that, Chuck was a master coach in handling egos, handling great talent. I do think with the passing of Drazen that it was a hurdle that no one was going to get over in terms of that team being on the rise, where I think they had a great series against Cleveland the year before. And then all of a sudden, Drazen passes away. You lose a guy that's a potential all-star if he wasn't already, a guy that was beloved. He was by far, from what I heard, the most popular net on that team. And you're talking about Derek Coleman and Kenny Anderson, two guys that ended up being all-stars as well. And Drazen, like the whole state of New Jersey loved Drazen's, yes, of course, his game, but his passion. He had a chip on his shoulder coming from Portland. He wanted to prove himself, and he was doing that. And it was a great compliment to Kenny and Derek Coleman. And it was just a loss that you weren't going to make up. It got me drafted. I'll be honest with you, I was hoping to get drafted by the Houston Rockets, and it was later, so I made more money being drafted by the Nets, but a chance to play with Hakeem as a point guard, shooting guard. That was kind of my hope, even though we would have lost
Mhm.
money. I might have got a couple rings with Jordan retiring. But no, it was eye-opening for me. And Chuck would, like I said, was a master. I thought Butch Beard did a really good job, but again, that team was now going to be on the decline. You're not going to be able to replace a guy like that unless you get really, really lucky. And unfortunately, they weren't lucky enough with the 16th pick drafting Rex Walters. That wasn't going to match what Drazen brought to the table.